Guys, it's Elise. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new.
Hey, it's me.
I don't even know how to start this video. So, I have been in a bit of a life rut, slump-ish thing. I don't know when it started, but I know I'm out of it now because I can read books so quickly. At the moment, I can film videos and not feel like I'm losing my creativity, and that is just, I think I'm finally out of whatever rutty slumpy life I was in. Because if you remember, a couple weeks ago I posted a video and I was just like, I basically announced I was getting a new job, I was quitting my old one, and just all this stuff was going on, and I would post when I wanted to post. And for the first time in like pretty much I think since like November last year, I have posted 3 or 4 videos consecutively, week after week. So I thought to kind of like celebrate me being out of my life rutty slump, whatever we're gonna call it, I would do like a favorites for book related content. So like what my favorite books are, who's my favorite author, all of these things. So I searched up some questions on the internet. If you're interested in these questions as well, I'll link the website I'm using down below. Let's just get into it. First question is, who is your favorite author? Probably Holly Jackson. I've loved every single book that she has released. I haven't read The Reappearance of Rachel Price yet. I just bought that today. But I will let you guys know if I enjoyed that one as well. But like, I've enjoyed / loved every single book she's released up till now, so we'll see how that goes. Do you like your favorite book? What even is my favorite book? Feel like my favorite book would have to be A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, potentially. Oh my god, there's just so many, especially recently. Like, I've loved Powerless and I loved the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, but those are really recent, so I don't know if The Love is just like their recent books. But I have not stopped thinking about A Good Girl's Guide to Murder for almost a year. Like, I think I read that book just over a year ago. So I think I love it so much because it has the mystery element. You don't know what's happening really until the end of the book, and then like it just carries on through the trilogy. And there's like the romance, the friendships, the mystery. It's just, there's so much to like love about it, and the fact that it's YA just I think adds to it. Like, it's really fast paced to read. I think I read that in like 3 days, like the first book, and it's just, oh my god, like Holly Jackson's writing is just so good. What's your favorite book as a child? I don't actually think I read much as a child, like until after I graduated high school. I hadn't really read a book properly. Like, when we had to read in school, I would literally just hold open a book and scroll on my phone. Like, I wouldn't actually properly read. So I think the only book I read was The Awful Auntie by David Williams. I think that's who wrote it. But I think the only book I properly read start to finish. Otherwise I read Twilight, but that was also when I was like 13. Who are your top 3 favorite authors? Elsie Silver, Stephanie Garber, and Holly Jackson. Holly Jackson is definitely up there. The other 2, they're a bit more of recent authors I've discovered, so, but I would definitely say obviously Holly Jackson is a top. What is your favorite book series? Well, I don't want to keep repeating, but A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, 100%. I feel like it needs to be one that I've kind of liked every book that I've read in it, or like liked it or loved it. Probably the Knock 'Em Out trilogy, because I did like every book. I didn't love every book, but I liked every book. Hi, Editing Elise here. Just wanted to say, when I say I liked every book of the Knock 'Em Out trilogy, I gave the first and second 5 stars, and then I gave the third one 3 stars, which is why it's probably my top series other than A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Just thought I would add that in here in case, because I did love the series as a whole, but I didn't particularly love every single book, if that makes sense. What other series have I completed? I think maybe those ones. What is your favourite standalone book? I don't think I've read standalones in quite a while, because all of them that I've read are becoming series or just became series kind of thing. Far out. Maybe The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I read that about a year ago, but it's one I can't stop thinking about. I have a special edition of it because I loved it so much when I read it. Other than that, I can't really remember the last time I read a standalone. Maybe I need to read a standalone. What is your favourite bookstore? My favourite bookstore, where like 90% of my books are from, is Wickles. 100% Wickles. It's just the best bookstore in New Zealand. Like, it just has every single option that you would need. Like, there might be 1 or 2 books that you would find at Paper Plus instead of Wickles, but Wickles, 100% best bookstore in New Zealand. What is your favourite opening line from a book? I just thought of the one from Twisted Games, where it's like, whatever the parrot's saying, and like you read it originally and we're like, it's a bit questionable. I don't have the book, so I can't like physically read it right now to remember it, but it's like something very sexual, and it's so funny because when you realize it's from a parrot, you're like, what the fuck? But like originally you're just like, I'm so bad at remembering quotes. What is your favorite quote from a book? Maybe because it's always on TikTok, it's like the one I really remember, but it's like also so iconic. And it's like from Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, where she gets asked, doesn't it bother you how when everyone talks about you, they talk about the 7 husbands of Evelyn Hugo? And then she's like, no, because they're just husbands. I am Evelyn Hugo. Like, that's just iconic. Top 3 favourite series of all time. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Knock 'Em Out. Third one. Maybe Chestnut Springs. It's just hard when you haven't read them that long ago, that they haven't had time to like sit on your mind. But yeah, definitely. Well, because I've only been reading for like a year and a half, that it's so hard to have book series that I read so long ago, like for me to be like, that's my favorite of all time. What is your favorite romance book? Favorite romance? I think Things We Never Got Over was definitely my favorite romance book. I just read that so quickly for the amount of time I had. Like, I was at that point, I think I was studying the training portion of my barista job for my first job, and that took me 2 weeks to read that book, but it was also like the training was so extensive. That would be my favorite, because I can never stop thinking about it, and I enjoyed every single second. I thought I read it so quickly, and then I look on Goodreads and I'm like, it took me 2 weeks, but it was just so good. What is your favorite rom-com? I don't even... Is The Do-Over a rom-com? I don't know, I feel like that is probably like one of the only rom-coms I've read. Like, I've read a lot of romance, but I don't know if I've read rom-coms. Probably The Do-Over. Like, I just found that one was so entertaining, even though it is literally you're repeating the same day over and over again. It was just really, like, she kind of made every day not the same, even though it was the same day. What is your favorite genre? Romance is 100% always gonna be top, because I just always go back to romance. And then I think fantasy at the moment. Like, I love fantasy. I read so many fantasy at the beginning of this year. I read 6 in a row. Couldn't read any other book genre. Like, I literally tried reading mystery, I tried reading romance, and I just had to have fantasy. What is your favorite book cover? Oh my god. Probably A Curse for True Love, actually. Now that I'm thinking about my covers. A Curse for True Love, the UK version, is so beautiful, and once you read the book, you understand every little detail that is on the cover. Yeah. What is your favorite book you've read this year? well, I have two. One I technically read last year, but I finished it this year, and that was Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I read it quite slowly, but I enjoyed every single second of it. Like, it was just super entertaining, and I loved the concept. It made me want to rewatch The Hunger Games and read The Hunger Games. Haven't read The Hunger Games yet, but I have rewatched the first two, which were the best movies out of The Hunger Games. And then my second favourite book would be The Ballad of Never After, which is by Stephanie Garber. It's the second in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, and it was so good. It was amazing. Like, I loved The Ballad of Never After. It was my favourite in that trilogy. What is your favourite YA book? Well, I'm not going to say the name again, but I think you can get it from this video. What is your favourite meet cute in a book? I think I love the way that Knox and Naomi met in Things We Never Got Over. Like, the fact he just hated her guts because of her twin sister. And, like, I don't even know if that's a meet cute, but, like, it's my favourite meeting of two characters. I just think I love it when, like, the characters end up hating each other at the beginning. Like, it's just so much fun. Like, so much more interesting than loving each other from the second they meet. What's your favourite platonic relationship? Maybe Lena and Knox from the Knock 'Em Out trilogy. They did used to date, technically, but their relationship after, like, during the series is just, it's so good. Like, they are besties for life. 100%, 110%. Who are your favourite book villains? Maybe Jax from the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. Because, like, who else is a villain? I don't really read much with, like, big villains that don't become, like, a love interest. So maybe Jax. And I think that's it. Because the rest of the questions are irrelevant because I can't answer them because I either haven't read that genre or I just don't know an answer for it. So that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys are interested in any of my other book content, I have an entire playlist that is book videos, and I will link it in the description below. Also, if you want to follow me on any of my other social medias like TikTok or Instagram, they are also linked in the description of every single video that I upload. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys all next week for another one. Bye bye.